Hello there everyone, it is TIJ and welcome to another Foot Manager 2019 team guide. Today it's the term of Watford, who have had quite a turbulent summer I think. They've made quite a few transfers, not really splashed the cash too much, but they have lost some pivotal players, including Richarlison, who went to Everton for the fee of £40 million. Today we're going to be talking about Watford's squad, the transfers they've brought in, and obviously people going out the likes of Richarlison, their dynamics, training, and the tactic I think they should use, as well as future transfers for Watford. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Watford had a good finish last year. I think they finished 14th last year, which is quite a decent finish after finishing 17th last year. But I think it's fair to say that wasn't last year. I think Marco Silva was there last year, wasn't he? And they had a really good start, and it just all tanked off towards the end of the season. But Watford have got a good chance. It's a very good squad, and mind you, they might be a bit overpowered in this year's FM, and it seems they are a little bit. I wonder why that is, but if you know anything about the Football Manager creators, you probably know why, but let's just gloss over that. But they've got a very good squad. The focal points are the likes of Troy Deeney on Andre Gray, but if you look at the value of players, they've got Decore, Deulofeu, Pereira, Chalobah, and Cleverley as well. There's the likes of Will Hughes, who could develop into a brilliant player. But if you look over the sum of the players they've bought in, actually there aren't many players that scream, you know, value and all that to you. So the player they've bought in that's cost the most money is Gerard Deulofeu, which is a bit of an interesting one, because a few years ago, Deulofeu was the big talked about thing. He had that good year when he signed for Everton. Then he went to Barcelona and people thought, ooh, Deulofeu could be a very good player. In fact, he went back to Barcelona after Everton bought them off him. Played 10 games, and he's come back to Watford, which is a very bizarre one. But he can play on either the left or right wing, but his left wing is the preferred place. And Watford have bought him for 11 million and could be a very, very good player as a replacement for Richarlison. And they've definitely made their money's worth of 28 million if Deulofeu is as good as Richarlison. We'll support some other players in. Ben Foster, notably. He's going to be their main goalkeeper, it looks like now. Gomez is getting on the aging side a bit of 37. How old's Ben Foster? He's 35, so I suppose Ben Foster's aging as well. But for £3 million, a decent sign. Admittedly, I don't know if about Navarro or Sema, but they've got two future transfers, which is João Pedro, a young striker, and Filip Stupavarovic, who's also a young striker. So not much to worry about there. They'll just go in the under-23s and will hopefully become good players in the end. Just looking at Jerome Sinclair, who joined from Liverpool last year, and he's actually gone down to League One to join Sunderland on loan, which is interesting. But yeah, his ability isn't the most fantastic, nor is his potential. But let's have a look at the dynamics of this squad before we go forward. The hierarchy suggests that actually it's a quite healthy hierarchy in terms of the team leaders. It's usually a worry that one of the team leaders in squads, which I've done so far, is coming towards their retirement. It could be one or two of the team leaders. But the only one I can see there is Aurelio Gomez. He's highly influential, but he's in the secondary social group for players who speak Dutch. So he's not going to have that much, sort of, you know, if you phase him out of the squad, there's not going to be too much problem. Probably set him for release because he's an important player, but Ben Foster's there in his replacement now. And he's just kind of surplus to requirements at the club, I'd say now. But I think Ben Foster should replace him. He's already in the highly influential player, so that shouldn't make too much of a difference. So the hierarchy looks quite healthy. Mariappa in the next few years potentially might leave, but Deeney and Cleverley, the captain and the vice-captain, very healthy in terms of the social groups, which looks good to me. And also the hierarchy looks healthy to me as well. Moving on to the tactics, we've gone with something I haven't gone for so far, but I wanted to play a 4-4-2 or a 4-2-4. We've gone with wing play, which is quite interesting. We've gone with Navarro and Pereira on the wings, which might actually change to bring... Where is he now? Where is he? Deulofeu. It's only because Deulofeu is injured that I hadn't actually put him in. We'll put Tom Cleverley in as well, instead of Will Hughes for now. We'll pop those both on the bench. But we've, as you can see, we've got Deulofeu on the left wing. He's injured at the moment, which is why we couldn't pick him. But Cleverley is a very good box-to-box midfielder. Deulofeu is an inside forward. At the back, we've got Ben Foster, Firmino, Cathcart, Cabaselli and Messina. They seem probably the best bunch at the back. We've also got Mariappa, Chalobah, who can be brought in. Is he a centre-back or is he... Yeah, he's more a midfielder, Chalobah, these days. So we've also got Prodl, who can be brought in. But there's a lot of depth at this club, I've noticed with Watford. There's a lot of players who kind of... I know it sounds daft, but they should be depth players because they aren't as good as the players that are on the pitch. So you haven't got a problem in terms of depth, but you have got a problem in terms of perhaps quality depth, because the likes of Mariappa and Prodl aren't really the best depth for the club. But, you know, Navarro probably isn't the best player to play there, actually. You could put Pereira there on the right wing. He can't play the best there, but I'm sure you'll work it out. I haven't got the best knowledge of the Watford squad, but it seems like there's a lot of depth there, and I think the 4-2-2 should work for you, with Deeney and Gray up front as target men and pressing forward. And I think that combination up front should be very good for you, as well as two holding midfielders with Cleverley pushing up a little bit, and the defence very solid. So I think that works well, and let me know what you think about that one in the comments. Next, on to training. I haven't actually looked at training yet, because I've only just got the game. My understanding is that work rate is going to be very important in this year's game. Something that shouldn't be too much of a problem with Watford. The only player that worries me a little bit is Delafeu. His work rate's only 10 and his determination's only 12. So potentially his training performance might be a bit poorer. But the likes of Troy Deeney, you've got no problem with. Determination of 19, work rate of 17. You've got no problem with him in training. But if players start to perform not very well in training, you can criticise them and potentially they may take that feedback positively or negatively. But I suppose it depends the way they're playing. If they're playing fantastically and not doing so well in training, you've got to balance up what's more important. You know, is training more important than the way they play on the pitch? I mean, it should be a correlation between the likes of Kafka being well on the training pitch and playing well on the pitch. It kind of makes sense. But more on that a little bit later. Let's have a look at the transfers that they could possibly bring in. There's quite a big kitty actually at Watford of 37.1 million, but I've noticed that there's a bit of a weakness in terms of left back and centre back, as I've mentioned earlier, with some of the poorer replacement options. But we had a few replacement options in terms of the scouted list, which we'll go through first. Unai Nunez is at Athletic Bilbao. And he's got a minimum free release clause of 27 minutes at the moment, but he looks a very good player, a superb sign, and potentially could be worth spending that 27 million on. He looks very good as a centre-back, determination of 20, work rate of 15. He looks like a solid defender, and with that sort of scout recommendation, I'd pick him up very quickly. With a minimum fee release clause of 27 million. Potentially in the future you could get him for about 20, I don't really know, but seeing as Atletico Madrid are interested, I'd definitely get in there right away. Another player you could bring in is Jairo Vrijdeveld from Crystal Palace. He can also play as a centre-back as well as a left-back, but he's quite young, he's got time on his side, and we're the only club interested in him. He's got a good scout report, as you can see. He's very much nearly up to the level of Messina and Holebas, but Holebas is getting on a bit, and Messina, how old's Messina? Messina is, can we actually get onto him, that's the question. Messina's 24, but Vrijdeveld could very much either be a backup player, or he could fill in at centre-back, which got a little bit of a lack of depth. But he's got very good potential, and I think he's someone that you could bring in. Also at left-back, you could tempt the Scottish leagues, Kieran Tierney, and he's got a very good potential. I'd recommend him for some higher teams than Watford as well, because he just seems like a good player. I remember last year he was a good player for me. I can't remember where I had him, but he was a good player for me last year. But he's had plenty of years up in Scotland, and I think it might be time for him now, perhaps, to come to the Premier League. And a team like Watford seems perfect for him to come to, so I think that'll be a good idea. But apart from that, folks, I think I've pretty much summed up in that 10-minute period. Watford. Yeah, Watford is summed up. Cleverly and Teeny are going to be very important for you. But the likes of Decore in the midfield is going to be important. The likes of Delafeu is also going to be important for you. But you've got a good squad here at Watford, and I think you can use it to your advantage. Let me down in the comments if you've got any transfer recommendations for Watford. Maybe I might be oversighting a little bit. I don't know too much about Watford's team, but it looks good to me as a team that you can definitely perhaps go for a Europa League place for, and even Premier League title success in the future. But that's going to be it, folks, for today's Team Guide. I hope you guys have enjoyed it and found it very, effective. Not influential. I was going to say influential. What's that going to do, if anything? I hope you guys found it effective at covering the squad, transfers, dynamics, training tactics, and the future transfers that you could bring into Watford. But make sure to leave a comment if you enjoyed, leave a like as well, and subscribe to the channel for daily Foot Manager 2019 content. But until the next time, folks, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.